And we are back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Father and Son News Show. Dad, how you doing?
Good, good, good.
Uh, as
Good.
always, a lot of things going on,
Yes,
and as you can
yes.
see, our set's different, so that's
Mm-hmm.
that's good. And so today I want to talk about the Democrats being divided,
What's new?
and I
Pussycat.
think that's such a bad thing at this time in the world
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
Democrats to be divided.
It is. It
And
is.
why? Why is that? We have Democrats in the control of the White House. Democrats supposedly have the majority, but yet can't get along.
Yeah. It's sad. But what it is that on one front, the Democrats are always trying to do what's right, what they think is the right thing, and the moral thing, and you have to determine those morals in relationship to your opposition. What's
Right.
going on?
Right.
You can't play softball if they playing hardball. It's two different games,
Right.
two different complete games. You can't play football and then you playing touch football. Two different games, and this is the mentality of the Democrats, and which the compounded, they're divided.
Right.
On top of being soft, they are divided on uh, how to handle and how to deal with the Republicans, and then you got closeted Republicans in the Democratic Party, and unfortunately, I guess you got a couple supposedly in the Republicans. I guess you may could say,
Romney.
well, no, I wouldn't deal with the Senate. I was just talking about the
Oh.
Congress.
Oh.
Um, but there's a couple there, but they're not defectors. So, but
No, not at all. I mean, it's just mind blowing to me at a time when Republicans around the country are attacking voting rights and making it harder to vote.
mhm.
Democrats pick this time to argue, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So you have the progressive wing saying that we want everything on the bill, or we're not going to vote for anything. And then obviously you have the moderates, more specifically Cinema and Manchin, saying that that's too much. Let's focus on this. Um, I look at it like this, and I don't want to minimize what the progressives want because they're good things.
Mm-hmm.
But let's use this example. Let's say that we have to get tires for our car, right? We need tires for the car. And we go to the store, we're trying to decide on the tires, and we got to put money together to get the tires. Because four sets of tires is expensive, right? We got to put our money together.
Right.
And then, somebody in the family is saying, we need a new roof and we need new shutters on the windows. And the only way I'm going to give you money for these tires is if we get the new roof, new shutters on the windows, and a new heating system. And the new tires. We got money for all that. Like, slow down. We can get that down the line. Let's get the tires now because we need the tires, aka infrastructure. But they want to add on the roof and the windows, all important things, right? But right now we need to be able to get back and forth to work and to school and all that kind of stuff. And that's how I look at what the progressives are doing.
Mm-hmm.
They want to tag on everything that we possibly get in climate control, climate change, and stuff for school and free this and that. It's too much, and it's not going to happen.
Well,
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And you know, this democracy was built on compromise, and unfortunately, the compromise is usually with the Democrats and Republicans. And when you have to, filter it all the way down to compromising, with the Democrats, it just makes it even more difficult. Um, and you're right; they're not going to get everything they want.
Right.
And Joe Manchin will probably get more out of it than anybody. because they can hold it up,
Yeah, and
and
it's good power.
yeah,
It's power.
and so it's a problem. It's a
Have
problem.
you been to West Virginia before?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where I had a good friend. We did some business with. I can't think of what city in West Virginia. It was. But yeah, yeah, yeah. It's farm country.
Yeah,
It's
and
country.
I would say it's rural,
Real
and
rural. Fulton
they need
Walker.
money.
Yeah,
They need money.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's not like this ain't the richest state in the union. It's
That's why the governor back was pleading with Manchin to uh, send that money to West Virginia.
right,
I mean, he
right.
was acting like he wasn't going to do the uh, back in the spring.
Yeah, he's always doing this.
Hmm.
And I personally think that he takes his
Quite seriously.
no, well, he definitely
Yeah,
that, but he takes his orders from Mitch McConnell
yeah.
and Trump.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, he can't come out and say that, but
Hmm.
your actions say that.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, his actions say
And
that.
especially Mitch, because Mitch said, I'm gonna give it to you, let you do it, and you can still save face, and
Right, exactly,
and
exactly.
because he think it's strictly from Trump, he wouldn't even be saving face.
Well, yeah,
It's just
yeah.
shove it down their throats, you know what I mean? And but yeah, I think him and Mitch are very good friends, and and as you say, his actions speak, because we could get a lot done if he was a true Democrat with with the Democrats.
So speaking of getting a lot done, I think that this is really going to be a critical thing as far as Joe Biden goes. Uh, Getting something done.
Hmm.
If this doesn't happen, if this doesn't work out, how does he recover from this? Does this really hurt this presidency? Even though we're still in the first year, but or do you think that this is not going to be as big of a deal as I'm thinking it is?
No, it's not going to be. I mean, it's going to go. It's going to go through, I think, but it's not going to go at 3.5 trillion.
Right.
And you've been in politics to know. A week, 2 weeks is a lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, Afghanistan is still going to be something that they're going to campaign on in 2024, but it's in the back burner right now. And so this is going to be gone in the back burner in
Out of sight,
another
out of
year.
mind.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. On to the next problem. The border, next problem. I mean, this is just never ending. Because yeah,
Uh,
you said before, this is just life is just you know problem solving,
right.
and that's all Biden's job is to solve all the
Right.
problem solving.
3 years from now, this is not even going to be on anybody's
Nah,
radar.
whatever's going to be on the radar is what's going to be in 3 years. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The house could be burning, but it could be. Hey, we could be at all. We could be at war by then. Because some people say that you know that the South still is fighting the Civil
Civil
War.
War.
No, they say we're gonna have a Civil War. Some say it never ended. You know what I mean? So we don't know what 3 years is going to be.
Yeah. I think you're right. And we're going to be on the verge of the 2024 election at that time, so it's definitely going to be
Hmm.
a wild time. Um and I think what I want to do is we'll take a quick break, and I'm going to come back. We're talking about wild times. I want to kind of go back to a simpler time, at least in my mind, and that's during the Obama administration. So we'll take a quick break and come back and talk a little bit about what's going on with the Obamas after this. Father and Son News Show. Stay tuned. So, a familiar face to most people in the civilized world.
Yes. Yes.
President Obama and former First Lady breaking ground at the Presidential Library. What are your thoughts on this family and what they're doing right now?
Hey, listen, there's no question that this family is represents a a first family that should be. They set the proper example. I mean, this guy he had the right name, no drama, Obama, and and it's good that they are breaking ground, and it's good that he's going to be in control of the library and what goes in it, because if you left it to anybody else, they would change the whole history. You've got to control the narrative,
Yeah.
because we can see right from January 6th, they're trying to change that right in front of our eyes. So you know what they'll do if he wasn't going to have all hands on, and him and his wife in that library. So that's going to be a great thing.
How important do you think it is, that the Obamas are they really represent the South Side of Chicago, and how important do you think that it is that they do that and continue to represent that area and not like claim somewhere else or
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, well, I think it's very important because that's where she's from,
right,
originally, and that's where he got his political roots at,
right,
and and I think it's good. And the South Side of Chicago is Chicago is a big city, and we all know what we hear on the news every weekend about what's going on in Chicago, and they try to demonize it as the murder capital, and but it's important that Obama uh, stay involved in Chicago, um, especially at this particular time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. um One thing that really surprised me is that he's been out of office for some time,
Mhm.
and they've been trying to, because they announced that this was going to happen like 5 years ago, but it's been a lot of back and forth with fighting with some people didn't want it to be there, and all this kind of stuff. So this has been uh, this is a struggle,
Mhm.
to make this
Mhm.
happen, and they haven't even started building yet.
Mhm.
People that I don't know if they know or not, but breaking ground. This is just to memorialize and celebrate the fact that they're getting ready to start construction.
Right, and to get it out in the public that we still need money. You
Right,
know
well,
what I mean?
that too. Yeah,
So
yeah.
don't be bashful. You
Right.
know, you know.
Absolutely. Father and Son News Show, D. Williams and Diamond K. We're going to take a quick break and come back and talk about your Detroit Lions
Hmm.
and the Baltimore Ravens
My Detroit Lions and my
and your
Baltimore
Baltimore
Ravens.
Ravens. Okay, we can talk about that right after this. D. Williams and Diamond K back in here, Father and Son News Show. How you doing, Dad?
Hey, good.
So a few days ago, we saw a really history making game.
Right.
Detroit Lions hosted the Baltimore Ravens on a Sunday afternoon game, and what we've had a couple of days to kind of process what we saw. What are your thoughts on that game and how the Ravens look and all that?
Well, after the game, the Ravens responded no differently than they are going to respond at the Super Bowl. If they win the Super Bowl game, because they were just as excited
Oh
with
yeah.
that kick when Tucker ran out of there and they
Oh
had that
yeah.
kick. It was just like they had won the Super Bowl game. So they were excited. And I was talking to a friend of mine in Detroit, and he said it like, this always happens to Detroit. We always catch the short end of anything. And he said, but in the darkest hours, that means that the light's gonna come, and we're
Yeah.
gonna we're gonna we're gonna we're gonna come back. We're gonna surprise y'all. And I said, that's true. That's true. That's
And that's
true.
the right attitude to have.
That's true. And but that was one of the most exciting games. that I seen in a while because
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought the Ravens had lost.
Yeah.
I really did.
Like we, we watched the game together, and I had already mentally accepted that it was over, and we're down to. I'm talking like this is like 5 seconds before the clock ran out, and I don't know. Do you remember what you said to me before before Tucker came out to kick?
No.
Because we just thought it was over.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And you said, hey, it's going to get real loud in that stadium. It's going to get real because you were saying they get ready to win, and it's going to be they're going to be really excited.
Right.
And I said, you're right. And then Tucker came out because this was after Jackson missed. He had to throw the ball away, and they couldn't get any closer.
Right.
And I said, well, it's 66 yards. He ain't gonna be able to kick that.
Right.
You know what I mean? He just missed 50 yards.
I mean, because when you think about it, 66-yard field goal. Okay, that's like being on the 30-yard line. That's like he's kicking from the 30-yard line of I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, and
70 yards.
Yeah, that is far.
Yeah,
okay, that is far.
Yeah,
and so when that happened, and then that bounced,
right,
and I'm like, okay, and then it bounced in.
Right.
So, yeah, that was
and
amazing.
It really was, and it shows you. And what's also amazing is when I grew up, baseball was the American sport.
Yeah.
When did football take over? I mean, football seems to be.
Well, when I was coming up, it started to happen. When I was a youngster. So we talk about in the 80s. But I had a baseball glove, and I had a baseball, and it was still very much prevalent, and you could go around and in the neighborhood and you see kid throwing the ball in the glove and that, and you want the glove, and and I've had baseball gloves, I have footballs, but it's just I think that in the 80s it slowly started to change, and once those expansion teams came and more cities got teams in the 90s, it really, and that's when we got the Ravens. It really started there. And then also, the NFL has done a really good job of marketing its stars, and they get a lot of commercials, and they do a lot of different things. And baseball doesn't. Their stars don't do the same. The insurance companies don't call up the baseball dudes.
I don't see any baseball guys doing commercials.
Zero.
Yeah. And then football is exciting. It can be very exciting, and so.
But when you were a youngster, the baseball games that was the sport.
Yeah, baseball. Yeah, and I'm not sure whether because we reside in Baltimore and we don't really have a strong baseball team, because I think yesterday I heard they lost 106 games. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then Sheila said, "Well, how many games they play?" I think it's 166. So I think they lost. They won. They won about 50
This was a bad
games.
year. This was a bad year.
They won about 50 games and lost.
And I think a couple times it was like 20 in a row we had lost. You know what I mean? It was a couple times.
So I don't know if others, but you already answered the question. I said maybe the other cities they do like their baseball, but you just answered it because I've never seen a baseball person have a commercial.
No.
I mean,
really. Basketball guys have commercials.
Yes, right.
But not baseball.
Or that much in hockey.
Yeah, definitely not. And it's so they don't have those big stars.
Yeah.
And I mean, you talk about hockey. I mean, I remember Wayne Gretzky, but who's another hockey
Wayne
star?
Gretzky,
and that's years ago. But I'm just saying, who's another star? And I didn't watch that sport, and I knew the name. So the stars are when you don't watch the sport, but you still know.
And
the star.
Who's the big star in baseball?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Roger Maris, Willie May. I mean, I don't know the names.
You saw Wayne Gretzky.
I went way back.
You went way back. But So you predicted early on the Ravens to the Super Bowl. Are you sticking with that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I really
Okay.
am. I really am. It's
Okay.
gonna it's gonna be dirty. It's gonna
Yeah.
be
Oh yeah.
grindy.
It's not gonna
Yeah.
be one of those
It's not gonna be
textbook. Yeah.
pretty. It's not gonna be pretty. It's gonna be one of those knocked down, drawn out, like we've been having.
Yeah.
Because if we had lost that game, we lost it because we should have had a couple of other
And
touchdowns.
when we lost to the Raiders, we lost
The
that.
same thing,
Yeah.
right. So we've been losing it ourselves. So we got a great team,
2-1.
and the starters are not even there.
Right. Right. Yeah, but I think that has actually been a variable that's been helpful
Mm-hmm.
because they don't even know what to prepare for. They don't know. We don't know what's coming. We don't even know who's playing. So
And it's interesting to see the kind of reaction that people have about the Ravens, because some of my friends in Detroit, they say, well, we know we're gonna lose, but because your quarterback is wild. Y'all got a wild team,
yeah,
so they were scared,
yeah,
so they
yeah.
and that's why I was shocked that if we gonna lose on Sunday. I said, I'll never hear any of this.
No. They like we lost every game, but we beat y'all.
Right.
That's what they would have said.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. So this Sunday we are going to face
Denver. Yeah.
Denver Broncos
We'll beat them.
4:30, I believe so. And so we can talk about it next week because
Yeah.
I'm sure something crazy gonna happen
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that, and hopefully Hollywood Brown will be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To
he
have
just had
his
a
back to
rough game. Yeah,
his Hollywood. Live up to your name.
yeah, it happens.
Hollywood.
It happens. Father Son News Show, D. Williams and Diamond K. We take a quick break and we'll come back and talk about
A legend.
a big legend. Okay, we are back. D. Williams, Diamond K. How you doing, Dad?
Good.
Father and Son News Show here. And so, recently we lost as we said on the other side, we lost a legend for film, pioneer, Melvin Van Peebles. And Dad, so what are your thoughts on the late great Melvin Van Peebles?
Well, what I think of Melvin Van Peebles, I think of not necessarily his movie um, credits, but I look at him as a man.
Mm-hmm.
This was a black man. This was a man who did things on his own, on his own terms. And when he was trying to do movies and do business, it was really rough. And so he was a man, and I respect any black man. That was a man I respected because he did it his way, and it was hard, and but he was up for the challenge, and he raised his children and his son the same way, as being men, strong and going for it. Don't be scared. Do it.
Right.
And so no,
Right.
I really respected him.
Right. And like you said, definitely, I mean, a pioneer. And like you said, just coming up in a time when it was not easy
Mm-mm.
to do what you wanted to do.
Mm-mm. They had no respect for black men.
Yeah.
You were like, it's a black guy. I remember when I was in the underwear business, and they were saying a black man in the underwear business. What is that? So they have no respect. They had no respect for Mel, and he had to just force it down their throats.
Yeah.
And you got to fight hard.
Right.
Hard.
And so he was 89 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely lived a full life, a long life, and definitely have to salute him. And it's when you think about it, even now, we don't always, we don't have the representation of us on film, on media outlets is much better now than it used to be. But when you think about it, and it still could be better. But when you think about in the 70s, that at a time when we have a little bit of control over things, but then I mean it was next to none. As far as the images of black people that was shown on the big screen.
Yeah, that's when they wanted to control how you talk. Well, you guys don't talk like that.
Right.
I want you to use that slang that you use. We don't talk too proper. Don't enunciate and pronunciate. Or So it was difficult. It was
Yeah.
difficult, and they're very disrespectful to you. And but he was a great man, and I knew his son, and Muriel was he loved his daddy.
Oh yeah,
He
definitely.
respected and loved his daddy.
No doubt about that.
And I just found out from your mother that the other day that Melvin spoke fluent French, and he did some French films too.
Yeah, she did say that, and yeah.
And the thing about it is that you find a lot of in the 60s and the 50s um, entertainers were in France a lot. Even going back to Malcolm X and they were there.
What made France a spot? And we were talking about um who were we talking about that
The dancer.
Josephine Baker.
Josephine Baker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking
Josephine
about
Baker.
her and
Yeah.
and her
Yeah.
going there, and so what
It was very open from the standpoint, compares to America, where people accepted you. Because even me, when I went out of the country for the first time, I could see a difference that people treated you like a human, and I was, we're so disrespected, as I said before, in this country that we don't even realize it, because we've never been respected. So when you get it, it's like, wow, I kind of like this, But yeah, they respected your talent, and they respected Black Americans' talent over there, and you felt comfortable. They really liked you, and wow, it's a white person, because they're white, and so it was man, everybody was over there, Miles Davis and everybody, and some stayed, and so yeah.
yeah. So the film, the Sweetback,
Yeah, Sweetback,
so
yeah,
it made that $500,000.
which was a lot of money back
Oh
in the
my
70s.
God. You have no idea. And how much did it make at the box office? $10 million.
10 million.
So that is a bona fide hit doing that. And one of the 50 most influential Black films all time. So definitely want to say rest in peace to that man. And just want to continue to talk about some Black folks
Yes.
that we just like to bring light to and have discussion about.
Because the thing about it, if we don't, who will?
Right.
If not now, when? What I mean? If not here, where?
Right.
So yeah, we have to.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
So every week, I get to sit down with my father and
Yes.
have conversations and discussions on topics that we always talk about.
Right. And that's the good thing about it, is that it's just very conversational. Just how we talk anyway, how we talk at home, and we're just sharing it with you guys.
Yeah. As far as you are very active in just out exercising, working out. Talk a little bit about that and
yeah, I listen, I found out, as you get old, you've got to try to you got to try to stay on top of it and not let it get on top of you. And at 72, that's my job, is to stay as healthy as I can, to stay physical. That's my So since I'm retired, I can just concentrate on me and your health. So I can't think of anything more important to do, but to try to stay here as healthy as you can. And I know one thing for a fact, that you cannot just sit and be a couch potato, because
Mm-mm.
it will. And you can't be excessive in drinking,
Mm-mm.
and you can't be excessive in drugs,
Mm-mm.
because it will come back and smack you, and you won't know what happened. You go to the, you got everything is wrong with you, because it's all come back on you. So you got to prepare, just like you prepare for your retirement package at work, for your 401k, to protect you as you age and go into retirement, your finances. You got to protect your physical well-being as you age and go into retirement, because you know what's going to happen, because you've seen your grandparents, you've seen your parents, and you are not immune. It's going to happen to you. So get on top of it. So go to thesbabyboomers.com. The letter D, the word babyboomers.com. And you'll find some of the secrets that I've learned over traveling to Africa and Asia. You'll learn them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so that is good, and it's always good to watch you, and just doing what you do.
mhm.
The results are clear and obvious. So you definitely have something to say, and great information to share to people. So definitely thank you, Dad, as always.
Thank you. Hey, listen, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here
If it wasn't for
talking right
you, I
now.
wouldn't be.
Right. So,
uh,
and I'm just glad we can bring people right into our living room, right
mhm,
into us.
mhm.
So, yeah.
Definitely. So
Uh,
we'll be back next week.
yeah.
And thanks, Father and Son News Show. See you guys.